Peter Obi should be charged to court. So now let him go and spend 2 years in prison.
So you saying people are wishing you just for any reason, to me, it's just a childish talk, sir. Very childish.
Hatred against the president. You said the president want to kill you, that you don't know whether you'll be alive. Is that not inciting or making people to hate Mr. President? Why would the president want to kill this man?
Tomorrow, you may be at the opposition. We will remind you. That is why you see that some people are now looking very foolish.
Peter Obi has turned himself to a big-time scaremonger.
Well, number one is that what I did is that I started the debate already by standing on that road and saying this road is bad.
He wants to debate with me. As who? You know, as who? Who is his capacity? Let him publish his credentials.
Hello guys, welcome back to Chikafe. I don't even know where to start. Is it a video from Arambabi who said they should arrest Peter Obi, or the video from Festus Keyamo trying to discredit Peter Obi? But you know what? Let's start with the Festus Keyamo. You see this video that Festus Keyamo posted, hoping to discredit Peter Obi. Unfortunately, the video backfired on Festus Keyamo and the APC. Because what that video actually proved is even more dangerous than what Peter Obi even claimed. You can see from that video that Peter Obi does not have even a single security escorting him. Now let's pause that topic for now. We're coming back to that story very soon. But now let's look at another trending story of Peter Obi replying to David Umahi regarding the debates that David Umahi asked Peter Obi to do with him. And to actually understand where Peter Obi is coming, let's listen to the genesis of that debate. Because David Umahi started that request. And this is how or what led to that debate. Let's watch that video, then we'll come back.
I think one obedient person, I don't know him, he says he wants to debate with me. As who? You know, as who? Who is his capacity? Let him publish his credentials. You know, he should even ask his boss, the NDC candidate, to publish his credentials. I'll publish mine, then debate can start. Because we are going to debate objectively. You know, not for a known person to say he wants to debate with a lion of the southeast. You know, what is his credentials? What is he known for? You know, does he know anything about infrastructure? So what are we going to be debating? Because this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm calling for his boss to come for debate. Because he dived me by standing on a construction, you know, site, and then, you know, what do you want to, you know, achieve in that? That's an indictment of me, and I have the right to reply, to say you don't know what you're doing, and you don't want to be, you want to be president at all cost. You're darkening council without knowledge, you know. So it is the soul of our people that we're after, and as one of the leaders of Southeast, I am, you know, expected to tell our people the truth. The president will win again, and the Southeast will continue to, you know, deepen in full and proper integration in the affairs of the nation. We will be president one day, but the mandate presently till 2031 belongs to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And when the thing comes to be the turn of Southeast at the right time, then the illustrious sons and daughters of Southeast, they will come out to contest.
So David Umahi said that he cannot debate with Peter Obi supporter or the obedient, that they don't have the credentials. Who are they? That he can only debate with their principal, which is Peter Obi. That if there is anything, Peter Obi should come for a debate. He want to debate with Peter Obi. And that leads Peter Obi to also reply with this savage answer that he will not debate. But if you haven't watched it, let's play part of it. But if you have watched it, please guys, exercise patience with us. Let's just watch part of that video. Then we'll come back to continue with the story.
I want to talk about two ex-governors that have publicly challenged you. One is Dave Umahi, Minister of Works, challenged you to a debate after you criticized the state of Nigerian roads. Are you going to accept the challenge for the debate?
Well, number one is that what I did is that I started the debate already by standing on that road and saying this road is bad.
Right.
So the only reply would have been, the road is good. But I thank him. He's not repairing the road.
Right.
So the debate is closed. There's no other thing to debate.
Okay, we
If he now wants debate,
yes.
inviting me as a presidential candidate for a debate, he has to go and become a presidential candidate first. Right. The World Cup is going on now. You don't stay outside and say you are inviting the team qualified to do World Cup to come and play with you because you're good. No. There's a qualification.
Right.
I'm a presidential candidate. Another presidential candidate participates in debate all over the world.
Right.
It is the top one. It's like somebody who is in Division 1 asking a Premier League team that to a match without, no.
Right.
You play according to your circle. Right. When he becomes a presidential candidate,
right.
those who are there, they will debate.
Right.
Just as him rejected obedience not to debate with him, he wanted to debate with Peter Obi. And Peter Obi said, okay, if you want to debate with me, please go and get that presidential candidate. Be on the race that you are contesting for the president. Then we can then talk debate. Not you being in Division 1. You want to debate with somebody who is on Premier League. Savage reply. Stupid requests deserve a savage reply. So now let's come back to the main story of today, and that is the video that Festus Keyamo posted. You know, sometimes APC, it seems that it's not that it seems that it is the truth, or it is the general consensus that APC people, they don't have brain. Their brain has been taken away from them and dropped in the ocean, never to be seen again. And that is the case of Babajide in this interview he did with TVC News. So now let's watch that interview. Then we'll come back to tell you everything wrong with that interview.
Peter Obi has turned himself to a big-time scaremonger. And I don't know what he intends to achieve by that. NDC has a court case. That court case predates Peter Obi's entry into that party. Yet he continues to say the ruling party does not want him to contest. Peter Obi car was clamped. We have seen the video of that car that was clamped at the Nnamdi Azikiwe airport in Abuja for parking where it ought not to park. And the explanation of Aviation and Aerospace Development Minister is very, very self-explanatory. You have no right to park your car there. If you must stop there, it's a drop-off zone. If you must stop there, your driver has to be in the car. But what did we see? Peter Obi's driver came down from the car, and the driver was a policeman. Came down from the car, went into the terminal building, left the car there, came out of the terminal building, went to the car again to pick something, and then went back into the terminal building. I've never seen any driver that lawless since I've been traveling, and I see people, they drop off their buses and they move away. Why should a driver park his boss's car, and move into the terminal building, leave the car there, come back again, pick something, move into it? Was after the second act that they decided to take action by clamping the vehicle. And Peter Obi didn't tell the world that after the clamping of the vehicle and the driver was told where to go to try and get the car released, he gave the phone to Peter Obi and they instantly allowed him to go when he should have paid a fine of 25,000 naira. If it was the ordinary Nigerian, he would have been made to pay 25,000 naira. Peter Obi didn't say that he peddled this influence and that after that he was allowed, the vehicle was released to him. He didn't say that. Instead, he said some other people parked there. So if other people are involved in criminality, if committing crime even becomes fashionable, shouldn't somebody who wants to rule Nigeria know that crime does not pay? Must you do what is against the law because you saw other people doing it? Is that the way to set example?
Interesting.
When he was interviewed, I would have expected a proper journalist to ask him to provide evidence of the attempt to destroy his businesses so that we can interrogate that. I would have expected the interviewer to ask him to provide evidence that they are even after his life because he said he may not be alive. Why would you not be alive? Do they want to kill you? And if they actually want to kill you, you are supposed to provide evidence. As journalists, facts are the tools of our trade. I reckon that not everyone who interviews people up and down is a journalist. But a proper journalist should be able to ask questions. If you tell me that Ibrahim Shita wants to take your life, I will ask why. Why did you say that? What did he do? Well, nothing like that happened. So the interviewer was simply saying, wow, like somebody who was starstruck. But you have a job, you have to ask him. And I'm not sure if he had been asked to provide proof or explain what exactly he meant, he would have been up to it.
So, the same video that Festus Keyamo posted, he's not using it to discredit Peter Obi. That Peter Obi is lying, Peter Obi is not serious, blah, 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 blah. And even to the extent that he lied on that things that was so glaring to everybody, that Peter Obi, the court case, in the NDC court case predates Peter Obi. When it was proved and shared and circulated in all social media that Peter Obi entered the NDC on the 3rd of May, somebody started sue or initiated a case against NDC on the 5th of May. But somebody can still open their eyes and knows the truth, but still close their eye and lie to Nigeria. Lie to gullible Nigerians, I would say so. And the worst part of it is that it seems that whenever these people want to lie, they want to throw or go away with propaganda, they always go to Tinubu TV News, that is TVC. If you are brain dead, go to TVC, they will not question you. That should be your home. That is the TVC is the home of the most stupid people in the world or in Nigeria. Just go there and talk whatever you want to talk. There's no pushback. Now, there's still this other video I want us to watch. That is from the K Akas Club, where this girl calls Tada or Sitia talk about why Peter Obi is complaining. That Peter Obi is childish. Supposed not to have complained. That the government cannot send anybody to the airport and say, don't check Peter Obi's hand again. But I like the way how also Ghana replied it. I want us to watch that debate between the APC people and the NDC people, or the obedient. Then we'll come back to complete with that story.
I watched the video, and I must say that statement about his life was such a very reckless statement.
Okay.
And apart from that, he made some other statements in that video. He said when he gets to the airport, people don't greet him anymore. It's funny for you to believe that political leaders will go to the airport and start telling ground officers to not greet you.
Okay.
You know, that's a reckless statement on its
Okay.
own. At the same time, he said that they didn't allow him to park in a particular place. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I think we got an information that he parked in a place that wasn't supposed to be parked. As a civilized person, and as a civil human being. You're not even if they were trying to wish onto you, even if they are trying to wish onto you, if they say don't park in that place is prohibited, you will just take your car and leave the place. You understand? So apart from that, Mazi said something just now. He said there was a time they went after his brother, but that's a lie. You understand? They brought down that building in Lagos, and not just that building, because that building was on a land that was not approved. And not just his brother, a lot of other people in that vicinity, their buildings were brought down. So you coming and saying they deliberately came for your brother just because you're running for office is another reckless statement. And when Lagos State government came live on TV to speak about this event, Peter Obi never spoke about it again. You understand? So I think he's just trying to get some pity votes, get people to really, pity him and all those kind of stuff. Claiming, one thing about politics is this. Definitely, opposition in one way or the other, they will try to frustrate you. Him going from one TV station to another, he's also frustrating the people he wants to meet. So you saying people are wishing you just for any reason, to me, it's just a childish talk. Very childish.
I will start with people who says Peter Obi talks too much. You know, say when you never get problem, you think say you quiet. Now just small discussion of topics we dey discuss here. Some people not feel they hold themselves, that the ginger to one respond. You are talking to a man who is being faced with all kind of persecution to keep quiet. It is fine, but you know what I'm happy? The truth, if you stand by the truth, at every point you will stand by the truth. But guess what? When you are here because something favors you, tomorrow you may be at the opposition. We will remind you. That is why you see that some people are now looking very foolish with the video and the things they have said before. Okay? So it is fine. It is so funny how people say, a Peter Obi said they're after his life, and you are saying it's not true. When a man said you're after his life, it isn't the only way you carry gun face him. When you try to grant a man's business, to make sure say you not get any business to do for survival, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Do you know how many attacks that man has had on his business? I'll give you a simple example. Funny enough, yeah? People say it's a Peter Obi. For some of us who support him openly, I can bet you that as a person before, it is very hard. A month might not do 1 or 2 events as MC. But do you know that today, event planners go come and say, oh boy, you go calm down. No. We call your name sorry. They say you good, but you do opposition. Me like this, it affect me. As I speak with you, in the last 2 months, I've been trying to register a movement with the CAC. I've submitted so far over 18 names. I gave them about 8 names. They rejected it. I said, okay, if they don't want to do movement, make we do NGO. I gave them names for NGO. They are still rejecting it. And my lawyer went there and they are telling my lawyer, oh, not be say with a victimized person. Wait till bring not be say with a victimized person. Guilt. Because they've seen my name and the name of 1 or 2 other persons who they perceive are Peter Obi's supporter. This is what I am going through. And then somebody sits out there, you are saying, hey, oh, Peter Obi not go register political parties. Oh, you think that you just get sense. He not just try. No, he no try.
Thank you.
So we must understand when this man says they're after his life. Tade just said where he parked was the wrong place. No, please, you missed it. Where Peter Obi parked, if you go to the airport, there is a place usually where people park, then you will come down. It is the same place, everybody is parked there. So what you are saying, I don't know who gave you that information you had, but trust me, you are just giving a very wrong information. We must understand that he's an opposition and things like this must happen. But let's not dispute the fact that he's not being attacked.
Thank you.
You see, sometimes you don't experience it, or you might have even experienced, but you just want to play deaf to it that something like that is not occurring. Even Ghana, who is not even big as Peter Obi, is testifying that him as an MC, there are some gig he will never get because they will call you, we know you are good, but you are supporting Peter Obi, we can't give you this gig. That is what Peter Obi also experienced. People will call, my daughter is doing birthday or my son is doing marriage, but you can't come because you know the others. And she also said that cannot happen. We all know how why Erufai is still in prison till this very moment. The bail condition. The civil servant that will stand for Erufai, they are afraid because if they stand for Erufai, they will definitely face a very serious repercussion. That is why Erufai is still in the prison as we talk now. The court have granted him bail, but he hasn't met the bail condition. That is the same case with Peter B. You see the similarity between them? But they say Peter B is lying. Now let's come back to that video of Festus Keyamo trying to discredit Peter B. And actually that video proved that Peter B's life is seriously in danger. A major candidate for the next election, the most popular candidate, does not have a single detailed security that is escorting him anywhere he goes. Even the America we are trying to imitate, when you become a major candidate in any election, you are given state security personnel to go with you to secure you. Even the mayor of New York, the moment he became a major candidate, he had a security personnel that was assigned to him to escort him everywhere he goes. But here in Nigeria, the security of Peter B has been withdrawn, but the others of senators and blah, 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 they remain because Tinubu made a decree that there should be no police escorting anybody anymore. But the Senate retained their own. Others still retain their own, but Peter B, there's no single security escorting Peter B. That is dangerous. Peter B is walking on lock. As it stands now, his life is in danger. How will I even say this anymore? Peter B's life is in danger and he needs a serious protection. If citizens can then be the civilian protection around him, I don't know, but that man needs a serious protection wherever he goes. Thank you very much for staying to this very moment. But before we go, guys, please, if you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, click on the bell icon so that whenever I drop any latest update, you will be notified. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
That is what you call that. I mean, and in the section 416 to 422 of the penal code, when you commit an offense, you have to just go and answer it. Nobody should think Obi is larger than life. No, it's just the husband of Margaret Peter Obi. That is all. Obi should stop, playing the victim. Don't say your business. He said all fatherless business is affected. No, it's a lie. It's a lie. As you saw that woman with Balekushi, where they went to donate some school material, food, and the rest like that. So don't say nobody is running after your business. No, nobody runs after your business. Coming with something I will call unethical demand. You just want people to support you based on most of the Atlantis allegation against a sitting president. There was an infraction. He didn't know there was a camera there. There was an infraction committed. It wasn't just this week. But when he's being interviewed, what did he say? He doesn't even know whether he's alive. He will be alive till 2027. What was the reason? They asked him. He said there's an incident. They clamped his tire. The person came out. He called the person and said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm Peter Obi." He said, "And so what?" That was what infuriated the honorable minister. He has said that, you don't bring people down for you to succeed. No. Because the law of karma is very real. Whoever disorder in order to succeed will definitely have distortion and waiting at the post of resources. You don't just begin to manipulate people, sentiment. You just want to cause insurrection. You are just trying to incite people. What is that is sedition. The offense committed is sedition. Because when you are trying to say something that people will now say, oh, this is what they want to kill this man, and people will now, trying to change that government by force. You have committed a crime. I think the man should know he should be guided. Now, they have sent the CCTV to him. Now he has kept quiet because he didn't know even there was a camera there. A sensible Nigerian would have known that all those poles at the airport, you have a camera there. Now, they recorded him and they now sent to the other minister who has sent it to his phone. Oh yeah, he should come out now to come and tell Nigeria. And he said, please, you have to pay 25,000 fine, then you tender an apology, because do not be deceived. Obi maligned the name of that person. He said he told him, I am Peter Obi, the person didn't listen. Whereas they allowed him to go. There was no issue until when he now brought it out on that podcast that he is not sure. All his business. Imagine Peter Obi asking a policeman to drive him. He should have a driver. That is also an insult from the Nigerian police force. But you lied to Nigeria simply because you are just looking for a way to make sure you will see President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He should wait to 2027. Nobody is saying he should not run. You know, I mean, in the abode of a political party that, you know, he find himself. Nobody says he should not run. But go and let people know what exactly is your mission for Nigeria. It's not that when they ask you questions, you say China will go back to China. Instead of the Chinese will go back to China. That's not the kind of narrative that we are looking for in Nigeria. And the greater problem of foreign exchange is foreign exchange itself. You see, people should not just be telling us, speaking from two sides of the mouth. Come and tell Nigeria what exactly do you want to offer them. So for him, you know, to have sent the wrong narrative, I think the honourable minister has the right to clear the hair. Because before you know what is happening, the hit will be on him that, oh, he was the one that sent them. But the honourable minister has come and very clear that, oh, you are the one that caused infraction, and he has been released to go. It is okay, now that you have come, you know, into the public discourse to deliberately attempt, you know, to cause insurrection, you know, to make people to hate the president, to cause disaffection, to cause breach of peace. He said, okay, no problem. This is the footage of what happened. Check it on your phone, but you have to tender an apology. Yeah, I don't think it's too much. You apologize to the staff. All of them are under NFC. Then go and pay the 25,000 naira fine. I think that's about that. But if he doesn't pay, he should be charged to court. That's my own. He should be charged. He's not above the law. Peter B should be charged to court. So now let him go and spend 2 years in prison.
How do you expect just like Kwan tender an apology?
Yeah, Kwan tender an apology. Even the other young lady apologizes. What is the big deal there? You don't begin to form to order you are bigger. A former governor in Anambra, and so every one of us former governor in our state now. It's not only Anambra that has former governor. On this my phone, I know I still have over telephone number of 40 governors. So many former governors. So what is the big deal that I've been a former governor? What did you produce? You only try to manufacture beer. People will get drunk and they'll be killing people in the name of IPOP. Is that an achievement that you want to tell them that you're a former governor? Your bank is performing very well, over 400 billion. Look at the MD of that bank. She's doing wonderful, even in the area of education. I mean, the MD of Fidelity Bank. The woman is performing wonder in the area of education. So we should stop, you know, playing the victim. Don't say your business. You say, oh, virtually the business is affected. No, it's a lie. It's a lie. As you saw that woman with Balegushi, where, you know, they went to donate some, you know, school material, food, and the rest like that. So don't say nobody is running after your business. No, nobody runs after your business. You are the one that is the problem, you know, by yourself. The staff of Fidelity Bank, they are doing wonderfully well. The MD, in fact, she's very, very exceptionary. I will not lie to you. That woman, all over schools, even in Ogun State, in Lagos, in Oyo, she goes there to go and donate, you know, school material, bag, books, computer, you know, to people. So don't say anybody, they want to run down your business. Nobody is running down your business. But Obi is a man who wants to use political consideration to make sure you remove President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or to create an atmosphere for hatred against the president through external friends. And that is what we call sedition. And they carry a maximum punishment of 2 years. So if he's found guilty, he should go and spend 2 years in prison.
Well, how would you say that Peter Obi is trying to incite the public against...
Let me read what sedition means.
The fact that the APC seem to have more weight politically and with other influences
No.
at their disposal.
See, sedition, as far as we are concerned, you know, it's a criminal offense. Under the Criminal Code, Section 50 and Section 51, they said it punishes spoken words, written or publication that incite disaffection, hatred against the president. You said the president want to kill you, that you don't know whether you'll be alive. Is that not inciting or making people to hate Mr. President? That why would president want to kill this man? That is what you call that. I mean, and in the you know, Section 41, to 42 of the Penal Code, when you commit an offense, you have to just go and answer it. Nobody should think Obi is larger than life. No, he's just the husband of Margaret Peter Obi. That is all. And, you know, the father to 2 of his children. No problem that. He's not above anybody. You shouldn't think, oh, I'm larger than life, I'm bigger than life. No. You don't malign the name, the office of the Honorable Minister of Aviation, and you think Professor Keyamo will allow you to just go like that. You know, they didn't talk until when he now brought out the matter that I don't even know whether I'll be alive to 2027. And what is the only significant infraction he spoke about is about the other airport. Imagine they climb my vehicle, everything they are doing is against him. They are affecting his business, and that's why I say no, nobody doing anything to his business. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm still saying it. Fidelity Bank MD performing wonder. As far as I'm concerned, I know the number of states that they have donated items, but Obi should go and face. He shouldn't bring such thing. The other shareholder, he shouldn't be making allusion to that to business that the federal government is trying to do something to a business. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. He should just go and answer his own issue. He should go and face the government. And like I said, he was out to do 3 things: pay fine and apologize under 7 days. And the only minister said if he doesn't, they have the footage. They said they will, the law will have to take its course. So that means it will be arranged. Do not forget. Well, former governor Ahmed Tinubu was not arranged in this country by the code of conduct. Or all of you have forgotten. Was it not arranged? Is it today not, a president of Nigeria? Nobody is bigger, as far as I'm concerned. You are not bigger than the constitution of Nigeria. Everybody, we are under the constitution. It is there. That the constitution control of whether you are the president, you are governor, you are anything, you are like all of us are under the constitution of the federal government of Nigeria. You are not above it. Section 1 of the constitution, 2 and sub 3 is clearly defining that this constitution is the ground-up of every other one. That is the most superior to any other act, or any other authority. Our constitution is the final. So once there is an infraction, let him go and face the music. And like I said, they ask him to apologize, to pay the fine, and if he doesn't, let him face the music in line with the constitution of Nigeria. 2 years is not too big for him. It's just 2 years now. So he will go and come back and learn his lesson.